Welcome to episode 3 of the Dragonheart Princess. The morning sun filtered through the glowing leaves of the floating island, casting playful shadows on the forest floor. Liora stirred from her light sleep. Arion curled beside her, wings twitching with energy. Their temporary sanctuary in the cave had felt safe through the night, but Leora's thoughts were restless. The Shadow Rider and the smoky beasts were still out there, somewhere beyond the clouds, and she couldn't shake the sense that her destiny was calling. As she stretched and looked at her glowing mark, the pulse in her hand seemed to sync with her heartbeat, as if urging her onward. "We need to understand this. Somehow," she murmured, brushing her hand over Arion's tiny wings. The baby dragon chirped softly, nudging her cheek, and Liora smiled. At least she wasn't facing this alone. Venturing out of the cave, they were greeted by a forest alive with strange, magical creatures. Dragonflies with translucent, shimmering wings darted past, leaving trails of glowing light. Tiny sprites peeked from behind the crystal trees, giggling and whispering to one another, curious about the new visitors. Liora laughed softly, kneeling down to examine a small, luminescent mushroom that pulsed in rhythm with her mark. "It's like the island itself is alive, and it knows us," she whispered. Arion flapped his wings experimentally, sparks dancing over the forest floor, as though confirming her thoughts. Together, they followed the faint magical hum deeper into the island, the trail of glowing glyphs from the previous day guiding them toward something unknown. As they moved forward, the peaceful morning gave way to tension. A sudden rustling in the undergrowth made Liora freeze. Her heart pounded. Out of the shadows leaped a group of small but fierce shadow wolves, smoky creatures with glowing red eyes. Liora gasped, but Arion immediately leaped forward, letting out a defiant roar. Sparks of electricity danced from his wings, striking the shadow wolves and forcing them back. Liora drew a deep breath, steadying herself. "We can't run forever," she said. "We have to fight when we must." Carefully, she began picking up small stones and sticks, using them to create distractions as Arion darted and spun, keeping the creatures at bay. The forest echoed with crackling sparks and Leora's sharp commands, a strange harmony of courage and chaos. After what felt like hours but was only minutes, the creatures scattered, retreating into the shadows. Leora's chest heaved with exertion and relief. "We did it! Together," she said softly, hugging Arion. He chirped in reply, his little body vibrating with excitement and pride. Then a strange glow caught her attention ahead, a small clearing where sunlight filtered down onto a circle of ancient stones, etched with symbols that glowed faintly in the morning light. Liora approached cautiously, feeling a strange pull in her chest. The symbols pulsed in rhythm with the mark on her hand, and as she touched one of the stones, a warm energy shot through her, making her gasp. Arion chirped, hopping closer, sensing the power as well. This is important," Liora whispered. "I can feel it." The forest around them seemed to respond. Leaves shimmered brighter, small creatures peeked curiously, and the wind whispered softly, almost like a voice encouraging them onward. Liora followed the path of stones, each one glowing brighter as she approached. Suddenly, the trail led them to a crystal-clear waterfall cascading into a hidden pool. The sunlight hit the water just right, creating a rainbow that arched across the clearing. Leora's eyes widened in awe. "It's beautiful," she breathed, stepping closer. The pool's surface rippled, and to her astonishment, she could see faint images forming visions of dragons flying through stormy skies, shadow creatures attacking villages, and a mysterious figure clad in dark armor, red eyes glowing. Her pulse quickened. The Shadow Rider? He was real, and he was connected to all of this. As Liora processed the visions, Arion growled softly, sensing movement behind them. She turned to see a second group of shadow wolves emerging from the trees. Her heart leaped. "Arion, be ready!" she shouted. The baby dragon flared his wings, sparks dancing around him, illuminating the clearing. The creatures charged, but Liora, growing in courage, stood her ground. She grabbed a branch and swung it with precision, knocking one back. Arion darted through the group, wings flashing electricity, keeping the shadows at bay. The battle was chaotic, but brief. The wolves, unprepared for the combined strength and courage of Liora and Arion, retreated once more into the forest. Leora's chest heaved, sweat glistening on her forehead. "We're getting stronger," she said, smiling through exhaustion. Arion chirped proudly. The trail led them further up a rocky ridge, where they encountered an enormous ancient tree with bark like silver and leaves that shimmered in every color of the rainbow. Its roots twisted and coiled like serpents, creating natural steps up its trunk. Leora's eyes widened. "We have to climb," she said, gripping Arion gently. He chirped, and together they ascended. The climb was difficult, every step a test of balance and courage, but the view from the top was worth it. Floating islands stretched endlessly in every direction, glowing rivers and waterfalls weaving between them. Liora felt a rush of awe and freedom. "It's incredible," she whispered. Arion chirped happily, looping in a small arc before landing beside her. From their vantage point, Liora spotted a strange glimmer on a distant island. Unlike the others, it seemed darker, almost foreboding, with twisted cliffs and shadowy spires. Her stomach twisted in fear and curiosity. "That's where we need to go next," she murmured, heart pounding. Arion tilted his head, wings twitching. Even though it looked dangerous, Liora knew she had to understand the connection between her mark, the islands, and the Shadow Rider. Somewhere out there lay answers, and perhaps the key to protecting her village and unlocking her true destiny. As night approached, they found a sheltered plateau, the sky above awash with hues of gold, purple, and deep blue. Stars began to twinkle, reflecting in the pools of water scattered across the plateau. Liora rested, holding Arion close, feeling the warmth and comfort of their growing bond. "Tomorrow, we face more challenges," she said softly, gazing at the stars. Arion chirped in agreement, curling his wings protectively around her. The wind carried whispers of adventure and danger, and Liora felt her determination solidify. She wasn't just a girl who dreamed of the sky anymore. She was someone who could face it, fight for it, and perhaps even change it. Just before sleep overtook her, Liora looked down at her hand. The mark pulsed steadily, glowing brighter than ever. She knew instinctively that it was a sign, a call to courage, a promise of destiny. Somewhere beyond the islands, the Shadow Rider watched, waiting for the moment to strike again. And yet, Liora felt no fear, only a spark of hope and determination. Together with Arion, she would face whatever came next. Their journey had only just begun, and the adventure of the Dragonheart Princess would unfold across skies, storms, and magical wonders beyond imagining.